All right, so day 2 of the Whiskey Loot Advent Calendar, and today we are, tell you what, the only thing annoying about this calendar is that they're all over the shop. Here we go, number 2. Okay. Right, okay, so if this doesn't say Christmas to you, then I don't know what will. The Glenfarclas single malt, the 12-year-old. Now, I know a little bit about Glenfarclas because we've just done a event when I was in Tasmania, but I can tell you this was a staple in my household when I was kind of growing up. We used to always see this bottle being presented. Now, a couple of things. This was, if I can remember correctly, this was a travel exclusively only to start off with, and I think Australia ended up getting it first. And then I think it's kind of like moved around from there. I don't even know if the UK gets the 12-year-old at all. Now, it's got a very interesting nose on this. It's very sweet, very sweet. I'm trying to actually put my nose on what it is. I've had this many times, and when we had the tastings, it probably came as the lowest one. We had some amazing bottles on that night. Yeah, it just, to me, it's got a little bit of sherry to it in the flavor. It's got a little bit of fruity to it. The finish on it though, basically just finishes. It's there and then it's gone. This is a 43%. We had I'm just trying to remember what we had. We had a single cask that was about 58%. Obviously a little bit older, but it was just so amazing that it really brought out what they can actually do. So this one is 100% Oloroso sherry cask, which is pretty much all they do. It's very rare that you don't see a sherry cask matured from them. It is a Christmas style whiskey. You kind of do see them do a little bit of Christmas marketing and stuff around it. It's just not the whiskey for me. It just doesn't punch enough flavor for me to really enjoy this. And I know that I've got some friends of mine that agree with me. As I mentioned, we've had a tasting, the single cask ones at, I think it was like 58 or 62%. They were just amazing. They really brought through a lot of flavors for it. I think at the moment, I was at Dan's the other day. I think for members, it was about $100. I think it sits around $120 in that take. I just don't see value for it for someone like myself with this. Now, the big question is, obviously, pretty much answered it anyway. Do we give it the good elf? Do we give it the bad elf? This one, I'm gonna have to give it a bad elf. This is not something that I would personally have. But if you are starting out or you haven't tried it before, definitely grab a bottle, especially if you can get it on special under $100. It's probably one of those bottles you need to at least try, see if you enjoy it, because there are some massive fans of this company. And I understand why once you start getting into that higher ABV stuff, but it's just not for me.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows.